Hey guys, what's going on? Alright, yeah, there is no webcam on the stream tonight because I look like a hot mess right now. My hair is up and no, it's just not happening, so I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to imagine the funny little gestures I make while we're live. But yeah, so we we have some interesting information tonight. Hambone should be joining us, and if he doesn't, I will do my best to cover the kind of craziness that we have found with the whole AstroWorld and the vaccine mandate, and just the oddness. So again, if you weren't around for it last night, I just apologize. There's just so much coming out from this whole thing, and to anybody affected by it, like, man, my condolences. And I mean, it's just a hard topic, but it is something that we do need to discuss, and it might get a little bit whatever tinfoily, but it's still the possibility is there for the weirdness. And there were many times when Hambone and I were looking through the information and diving through the data points and making these different connections that we had to really take a step back, and we're like, okay, are we reaching? Are we kind of going crazy here? Do we actually have something that needs to be looked into, or do we just need to kind of close this case? And it's just a lot. But shout out to everyone that is here in Discord. I have Hallister, Pleasant Buddha, Jess is in here. YouTube guys, I was really kind of surprised. Like, I hit the go live and everybody was like, hey, what's up? Glizzy, JH, Can't Stop, E-Rocks, Johnny Rocket, Jake Brown. Yeah, thanks for being here, guys. I know we got a late start and I do apologize. But yes, like I said, my daughter wanted to be a party animal and didn't want to go to bed. She's been going to bed at like 10 o'clock every night, and tonight she was like, no go, it's gonna be 11. But yeah, it's cool. Let's see. I was looking at something that talked about how the virus started in early 2018 for COVID. Yes. So COVID's actually pretty a sketchy thing. That's a whole realm of crazy. I'm not going to dive into COVID. Okay, I guess we kind of are because of the vaccine. So, I will touch on this briefly, and while Hambone is going through his stuff, and when he comes back in, because he's doing our hookah right now. So if you guys look through, I believe it was Moderna. Party Rock is in the house tonight. Yes, she totally is. All right, so I'm gonna try to fly through this. Ethical skeptic on Twitter. Yeah, no. Anyway, sorry. I'm totally getting sidetracked. So I'm gonna look down at my keyboard. But yeah, so if you look through Moderna, I don't know if it's in any of the newer batches of the vaccine, but the older vaccines do have graphene in them. Graphene is actually a really crazy material when used, for building and technology and things like that. Like graphene in itself, metamaterials, the company, they're using it for different things. Tesla's trying to use it for spaceships, and it's an incredible resource. But they were putting it into the vaccines, and why this is bad is that graphene in itself has a reaction point to different frequencies, whether it is like a cell phone or anything like that. So it does have kind of a reactive property, and I will, like I said, when Hambone comes on, I will show some videos. Like I will try to get them pulled up. I think he has them all on his computer at the moment, but it's just kind of it's very eerie how the substance moves to different frequencies. Actually, I'll try to see if I can find it right now. Yeah, see, graphene reacts to phone. So I'm gonna mute this sound. Give me one sec, guys. I used to start that stuff. Oh Lord. Oh Lord, you guys. Alright, now I gotta make sure I have, let's see. Alright, so main monitor. So I have it down here in the bottom corner. For anybody that is in Discord, I will copy and paste this over to you guys. Try talk chat. There we go. Alright, so this was just one little funny thing. So I will do that. And so this is just kind of, so it turns the phone on and it shows this reacting to it, right? And so with this being in the Moderna vaccine, people, and this is like a 5G, like it's not, I don't think it's like 4G or 4G LTE or anything like that, but like the 5G frequencies and things like that. So this is kind of something that was just awe-inspiring and also kind of freaky at the same time. So I'll just let this play for a little bit, and so you guys can kind of just grasp the, I don't even know what you would call this. So, I mean, that's interesting, right? So anyway, we stumbled across that, and so that makes me wonder, with the people that were at the concert, if they had the Moderna vaccine or anything like that. Like, there's obviously other things, being squished and unable to breathe and things, but there's also this whole thing with frequencies and how they change your mood and all this other stuff. And there's just so many people that had been reporting that they just felt off, and they just felt dreadful or just anxious and things. And so that can actually be attributed to the frequency rate, like how high or loud and how soft a frequency is. And so if it's something that you really can't hear, and it's just kind of vibrating through, I mean, for lack of a better term, like just vibrating through your body, it can actually make you just feel kind of anxious and jittery. Whereas like, hype, excited and, loud music, it can make you really like just pumped up and enlightened and everything. So it was very interesting to see this, just, that's a working thesis. I think Hambone actually has that information. But that's just why we wanted to kind of dive into it, because we really do have to start kind of watching and, understanding what's going on and how things are being made and why things are being made the way they are and how it interacts with the rest of the world, because technology is here to stay. Like, that's just something that's unfortunate in a few different ways, because, the higher the technological advances, we don't understand how radio waves work or the different sound waves or anything that come through it, and vibrations. So it's something to consider. Because I stumbled across info that talks about how radio waves through TV makes viewers susceptible to being influenced, and I believe that. Like I said, the frequencies and things. Talked about influences through media as far back as the 50s. And yeah, no, it wasn't in Pfizer. It was in Moderna. Let me see if I can find that again. Moderna. Like I said, okay, so yeah, obviously you're gonna have these fact checkers who are like, no, it doesn't contain graphene. I will have, I have to have all of his stuff. I love this because I think it's funny with Snopes. Snopes lost its credibility a few years ago to me. Let me see. But yeah, the only one that would have been concerning would have been Moderna. It was the only one that I even saw whenever it first came out. Yeah. So this is NCBI. Share my screen again here. Potential of graphene-based materials to combat COVID-19, properties perspective. So this is a, this isn't Snopes. This is a published paper, peer-reviewed. So they're basically trying to figure out if graphene was in it. Severe acute respiratory syndrome, blah, blah, blah. Let's see, everyone that was unvaxxed knows that the black stuff is graphene oxide. What? Okay, hold on. Is the vaccine you're talking about a mRNA one? Yes. Moderna is mRNA. Adrienne. Oh, thank you. Thank you for supporting the channel. I just wanted to ask what would happen to the banks after the MOAS? They won't have all the money to pay us, and would the Federal Reserve just print it out? Okay, we'll cover this. So the banks are in a very precarious situation. Because they actually are very much invested into here. Actually, we can do this. Let me pull this up. For anyone that knows this channel, you know what's coming. You already know. Is it that one? No. Yes. Let's see. Sorry, it's totally radio silent right now. Alright, here we go. Share screen again. Alright, so the banks, when it comes to the banks, alright, AMC GME over here, right? So we can see that the AMC GME, they're in a ton of ETFs. These are financial institutions, banks, anything. There's just a vast array of different ETFs. They share 26 or so. I haven't updated this in a couple weeks, so that could have changed. This data changes almost on a daily basis. So, there's obviously more institutional investors and things into GameStop and AMC now. So again, has to update, which is fine. Ever updating, but this for the most part has not changed. And the fact that the banks, we have Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Credit Suisse, Citi, Deutsche, Morgan Stanley, like all these banks, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, all of them are invested or have some kind of tie to Susquehanna, Citadel, Point72, BlackRock, Vanguard, Berkshire, State Street, Price T. Rowe, and everything. So what ends up happening is there's an infinite loop of money, right? So when in the case of a MOAS, what I'm thinking, they all recycle money, right? And so what ends up happening when this comes to fruition is, AMC memes, all the meme stocks, right? I need another little tab down here that says apes, whatever. So AMC, GME, we're not selling, but whenever someone does decide to finally sell, this infinite loop of madness between, hedge funds, market makers, the banks, and everything. It starts funneling into the apes, but the apes, we have to put our money somewhere, right? So it's either going to feed into crypto, it's either going to feed back into the stock market, which again goes into the bank and institutions' pockets. So I'm not too worried in that sense. And if the Federal Reserve has to start printing money because of this, then it's going to be bad. Because they're already getting ready to default. I think we're at I wish Boss was in here, 12 days, 10 days, somewhere in that realm of getting ready to default on our nation's debts. So there's that whole scenario as well. And you have Evergrande to tie into all of this and everything. So at the end of the day, banks, there might be a couple banks that collapse, or some of the financial institutions, Citadel and whoever else, they might go under. It's a pretty precarious situation. So I don't know. I tend to lean more towards wanting to be in a credit union. We have a credit union. And so that's the only thing I have friendly, not financially, but friendly suggest is trying to get into a credit union. But they're not always safe. They are not always safe. I'm putting that disclaimer out there. They could just go under just as well. But they're not as corrupt as like JP Morgan and things like that. Which, by the way, JP Morgan's offering some really weird loans now, like business loans. I don't know. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I am catching up on chat. Hey, Pam. How are you? You are everywhere. Always. I feel much better with AMC holding the 40s. GME over 200 works too. Heck yeah. Pam is everywhere. Yes, she is. We have come too far to cave. Yeah, no one's caving. Johnny, new pick. Yep, Johnny has had a new pick for a couple days. Default. You're in a credit union? Yeah, credit unions are great. I mean, that's where we're fortunate. Like, we have Navy Federal, so since we're military. Do you think that the reason they want to increase taxes to rich people, it's because soon after the MOAS there will be a ton of millionaires? Probably. It crossed my mind. So I'll shut this off real quick. So yeah, it crossed my mind, guys. It did cross my mind that, whenever they were like, oh, hey, we want to tax the rich now after, we've all been screwed. Yeah, it crossed my mind that they're anticipating, 4 to 10 million new millionaires. So, I mean, that's a whole bunch of money. But as long as, you keep doing your DD and you have your financial advisors, your, accountants, your financial attorneys and things like that, you should be okay. Like, they'll always know the loopholes. I keep telling Hambone that I want Trump's accountant, because apparently he knows every loophole there is to know. And plus, oh, speaking of, I'm going to tweet this out. We are very, very, very close to the first 1,000 for BullHouse. So I do really want to thank you guys. Like, that is so epic, between the magazine subscriptions and, all the support we get on the YouTube. We are so very, very close. So I do want you guys to start thinking about what charity we are going to be donating the first 300 to, because 30% of anything that BullHouse makes, we do get to give to charity of the community's choosing. If I can just kind of toss this out there, like my choice was like Toys for Tots, because it looks like we'll probably be in December roughly, whenever we actually, everything hits, funds hit from YouTube and everything. So I was thinking like Toys for Tots would be really cool if that's possible. But I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. Definitely, there's so many great charitable works out there. We can do, anything out, on any other continent or anything. So Cheeseburger Foundation. I don't know if I've seen that one. Pitbull Rescue. Okay, yeah. So if you guys want to DM me, I will start putting a list together for the tweet. I'll start. Actually, I will write these down too, just so I know I remember them too. Johnny, I'm gonna need a a link to the Cheeseburger Foundation. I mean, unless it's like the Ronald McDonald thing. I mean, that's an actual thing. Let's volunteer all over the place post MOS. Oh yeah, 100%. Pitbull rescue. E-Rocks. Alright. And then if it is something like E-Rocks, like you have a Pitbull rescue, if there's a specific one that you want, just let me know. Pitbull Worldwide. But yeah, so that, I did want to put that out there. I'm super stoked about that. And what a great time too for like the holiday season to be able to do like our first charity. Like I'm super stoked about that. So yeah, and speaking of, I am looking for your family recipes. If you if you have a favorite recipe that you want to share with the world, family hand downs or anything like that you do for like Christmas or, whatever holiday traditions that you want in the magazine, send them over to me. And whoever does, I will send you the link to the magazine. Like, you don't have to pay for it or anything. I will just kind of send you the link to the magazine so you can be like, hey, look, we're in the magazine, whatever goofiness. So that's kind of the thing I'm doing for the December issue. I've worked a few hours today, actually, doing the layout and everything, getting some stuff ready for it. And so we're going to have like craft ideas. We're going to have, recipes, gifts for all budgets, because I don't know if everyone's noticed, but presents are getting very expensive if you actually look at the catalogs and kind of try to go buy things. So yeah, my mom is actually, when Hambone and I go to do Christmas shopping for our daughter, her and our daughter are going to make Christmas gifts for us. So I'm pretty excited. Hawaiian teriyaki. Heck yes. I will say, when we lived in Hawaii, being in the South, we have excellent barbecue. Like, we get some awesome barbecue going, and it was really kind of one of those disappointing things whenever you're like in the mood for just solid barbecue, barbecue pork on a bun and like just whatever, and you end up with like Korean barbecue and you're not totally expecting that. So that was something to adjust to. We did find one barbecue place, but yeah, the Hawaiian teriyaki is really good. Fannie Mae and M. Ready mac and cheese. What? Oh, Freddie mac and cheese. You're have to give me that one. All I can think of is cheeseburgers every time you post, Johnny. Just relaxing now, but was so busy at work all day, eating late dinner. I'm glad you could join us, Pam. I know we go a little bit earlier than when you can join us. Korean barbecue is good. It's just one of those things, though. When you were like expecting one thing, it's just one of those things. Adrian, oh man, thank you again. Thank you for supporting the channel. I forgot to tell you, you ever want to make some stuff with your logo, I can do the embroidery for you, no charge. Oh, that is so kind. That is so kind of you. I will, yeah, I know Hampone's actually going to reamp our logo, I think, a little bit. He's actually going to be starting a fishing channel, fishing and hunting and everything. Like, he's going to kind of do his own little channel, but some of it's going to be on BullHouse, but it's kind of one of those funny little, when he goes fishing, he's going to take you guys with him, because he is officially licensed to hunt and fish in Florida. So he just got that today, his card. So he's going to be taking you guys on a bunch of fishing adventures. I hope you're prepared. I can't remember what the fish is called that you want to go after.
It's just Florida pond.
Oh, Pompano. Pompano is what he's after. So, but yes, Adrian, I will definitely get in touch with you. That is so kind of you. Thank you. Um, are you joining us? I've been hyping you up a little bit. So we went over the graphene. I did show them the really eerie video of it moving and stuff to the radio frequency. And then I did find the peer-reviewed paper about it being in Moderna versus Snopes and all of them being like, no, this is FUD, basically. So that's where we're at, kind of. And then we got derailed about us being very close to our being able to give to charity and magazine stuff. So that is where we're at. Hambone should watch Meat Eater on Netflix.
I watched on YouTube. I don't watch it on Netflix.
He watched it on YouTube, guys. He watched that on... Yeah. He is... So, guys, he is officially crossed over to watching Duck Dynasty now. I will honestly say I looked over at his computer yesterday and I was like, what you watching? And he's never watched Duck Dynasty ever in his life. And so now he's like kind of binging it. So whoever watches that, you can definitely... No, you guys can talk about it. It's cool. We eat a lot of Asian fusion food. My husband is Samoan. Oh, very cool. Even though I love the food, sometimes I just want fat cheeseburger. Yes, exactly. Right. So, Sarah, I'm 100% with you on that. Like, that, I mean, we love Asian food. Like, I mean, it's literally our go-to usually when we go out. But when living out on Oahu, you really just crave like a good burrito or a nice juicy cheeseburger or something that's just not good for you. So now I understand. Erok says, I'm super hungry now. I am sorry. I am too, actually, at this very moment. I'm going duck hunting in January. Oh, that's really fun. I don't personally hunt because I'm, as you guys know, I would probably die in a week's time if I had to survive on my own. This is why Hambone is my hero, because he'd be able to get us food, meat in that sense. I can't kill an animal. I can barely kill a bug. I'm such a bleeding heart. It's terrible. Oahu is nice. It is really nice. So yeah, no, I'm... Lord help me if anything ever happens to my husband, because I am going to be dead if we have to depend on me catching. Like, okay, and I love to fish. This is the other thing too. I love to fish, and I'm more of a catch and release because I'm like beef free. Because in my happy little rainbow world, fish aren't eaten by sharks. It's just not a thing. And then Hambone is over here showing me videos of people like they're out in the Gulf fishing or whatever, and they actually get like a 2-for-1 because they caught a fish that was being eaten by another fish at the same exact time, which is very odd to me. So yeah, I'm too much of a softie. This world's gonna eat me alive. I'm sorry. Pam says I can't kill anything. Yeah, see, I'm with you, Pam. I'm with you. I have family in Oahu and Big Island. That is so cool. That is so cool. And I'm sure my staff is now, Alistair and Curtis are probably dying laughing at me. They're like, God, we're being led by an idiot. No. But yeah, I don't know. I do want people to start kind of taking note of meat prices, though, because it is getting astronomical. Like pork and... Actually, just pork. Pork is about the only thing that is still relatively cheap. Chicken, obviously, the chicken wings. I
noticed that the McRib is back.
Oh yeah, and I'm to tell you guys that to notice that the McRib is back, because the McRib only comes back when pork prices are at their all-time low. And usually pork prices are at their all-time low when we get ready to go into a time of hardship. So there's that fun fact for you. No, I do not eat the McRib. The McRib is very terrible. You're fine. I'm gonna bring Toxic up. All right, Toxic, I'm bringing you up. Paid $25 for a ribeye. Oof. Hey, Toxic, what's going on?
How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just, up here just rambling today about me not being able to survive on my own.
Everybody's kind of like just vanished and disappeared, and like nobody tends to want to talk about stocks very much lately.
Oh, we talk about stocks all the time. We just haven't been in Discord lately. Like, it's just been one of those craziness. And, Twitter Spaces just... I think I want to stay in Discord more.
Yeah. Have you seen, what do you think about what's going on, like with everything that's going on with AMC and all the other stocks?
You're going to have to be a little bit more specific.
The past 2 days on AMC,
Oh,
where it ran up real hard, and then they dropped it all the way back down.
I mean,
Just
there's... So AMC, they've had a few of the execs selling their shares too. I mean, there's been a few things like that. There's just kind of uncertainty. I don't know. There's just, I mean, it's part of the trend too. Like, it's just kind of how AMC is. Like, it runs up and then it kind of levels off, and then it'll run up again and levels off.
You're not on that bandwagon where everybody is blaming Adam Aaron for selling his shares, are you?
I really don't care what he does with his shares. Like,
It's actually not him doing it though. That's what's got me really irritated, and that's the reason why I haven't been in Twitter at all, in the Twitter Spaces, because everybody wants to sit there and say, oh, it's his fault that we haven't ran because he's selling his shares. In all reality, it's actually not him. He actually gave that ability for those shares to be sold to an actual broker, an individual that deals with that stuff. So he has no control over selling those, and he stated that back in March. And everybody keeps forgetting that.
I have no comment on that, because I mean, I'm watching. I mean, personally, like, AMC's, right now it's on my back burner. Like, AMC's gonna do its thing.
Right.
I'm really watching, like, GME and Loopring. Like, this has been a really fascinating thing for me, is GameStop and Loopring connection with the NFT world. All because, a big thing because one of the founders, or the founder of Loopring, reached out to Lady and was like, yeah, we'll come on BullHouse after our major announcement in the middle of December. Like, I'm sorry.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So I'm like,
Nice.
Made me want to jump into Loopring, going, you have some major announcement? Oh, yeah? Because what is it? I mean, and it could be anything, guys. It doesn't have to be GameStop. Like, Loopring could be like, oh, yeah, we're releasing XYZ. Like, but I mean, they're not quiet about this. They keep telling us, like, yeah, we have a major announcement. We have a major announcement. So, AMC is just set it and forget it. Just
That's pretty much where I'm sitting at with it now. I actually had a friend of mine actually bring up to me about Ethereum. He said that I need to, if I get a chance to, I need to try to dump some money into Ethereum before December.
Yep.
And I don't understand about that. Maybe you do, or maybe you know somebody that does.
I believe 2.0 is official. So their newer technology and how its transactions are done. Like, basically, Ethereum is getting a fucking major makeover. So, Johnny Rock, I'm gonna go buy Loopring now. I mean, it's been going down. Like, it's been on a little bit of a downtrend. So, hopefully, you can actually get that full dip before it goes up.
I haven't even looked at it.
Yeah, Loopring is actually a really cool thing that they're doing. I mean, we'll do a whole day on Loopring sometime. A whole day, like an hour podcast on Loopring.
Let me know about that, because I definitely want to listen into it. Because I mean, he doesn't normally call out any type of stocks like that. He actually staying with me right now. I've known him for a long time, and he does long-term stocks. And he said that there's another company that's hooked in with Ethereum, which obviously I guess that's Loopring.
Yes, it is on Ethereum. Ethereum's getting ready to do some really cool things. Bitcoin will always be the OG. It'll always be the first one. It's the whatever. But Ethereum, I think the utility and the usability of Ethereum is going to kind of blow things out of the water.
You think it's going to surpass Bitcoin, possibly?
I honestly don't know. I can't say.
You should know me. I don't deal with crypto normally.
I know. What's your thought? Do you think Ethereum will pass Bitcoin? He's still trying to boot up. But no, it's I'll DD it. I haven't even put that into a thought because I'm just excited that something actually could challenge Bitcoin in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Ethereum was still like $50.
I remember when it was around that. It's been a while.
Oh yes, it has been. It's just like it's a cool little thing. In the crypto world, the crypto world's just. I think everybody still needs to realize, while Bitcoin and them, like Bitcoin, I can think back to 2009 hearing about Bitcoin. Ethereum, I'm thinking like 12, maybe 13 is when I first heard about Ethereum, and just kind of started watching it, but I didn't really get into it. I don't know. At that point, Ethereum was just like the gas fees were stupid high, and there was just not much in it for me at that point.
It's the same thing with the Shiba thing. Like a lot of people are looking at it and thinking Shiba's not going to be worth anything, but I think Shiba actually might go up to try to take over Dogecoin, possibly.
I don't know. Kind of thinking about Ethereum and Bitcoin again, as far as could Ethereum overpass or overtake Bitcoin? I mean, it could. I mean, Bitcoin's been around a little while longer than Ethereum has, and Ethereum still has a little bit more to go as far as like them coming out with Ethereum 2.0, which is supposed to reduce a lot of the gas fee issues that are going on. Bitcoin doesn't have as many definance applications or use cases as Ethereum. So that's one thing to consider. And then like smart contracts, that's something that could be a little bit of a talking point between the two. But I don't see why not. I mean, there's space for both, obviously. It's not like a either or. It's
Right.
like a which one can prove its use the best, I suppose, and whatever the market will bear.
I'm just waiting for this bubble to pop finally. Whenever it decides to pop.
And I did see eRock. I looked up Fidelity, just a quick Google. It does not look like Fidelity is going to offer crypto for the retail apes by any means. But it says Fidelity plans to roll out Ether trading for hedge funds by March of 2022. Financial services companies crypto arm Fidelity Digital Assets should have Ether available to its hedge fund, family office, and institutional clients by the end of March of 2022. So that's unfortunate, but they're trying, I guess. I don't know. Did you want to dive into your stuff?
My stuff? What's my stuff?
Your Astro. The frequencies and stuff. We don't have to.
Pretty out there, I suppose.
There's stuff out there. There's other channels that have kind of touched on some things from the AstroWorld concert, but before I even like say anything more about it, I just want to put it out there for the family members of those people that were injured or ultimately lost their lives there. It's a pretty pretty sad situation to think that you're going to go to something that could, be a memorable event, for the fun aspect, not necessarily because it's traumatizing or something that completely out of line happens like that. But either which way, it seems like there's a lot of litigation already being brought out against Travis Scott and the promoters and stuff like that. I saw that one lawsuit out of a Houston lawyer was like 750 million that they were taking him for, and that's just the one lawsuit. I think it was supposed to cover like all the victims, but uh, they're expecting a few more. And then Nike had a shoe deal with Travis Scott that they suspended, which to me that doesn't really sit right. It should have been completely pulled, but they just suspended the release, I guess, till another time when people are less upset or less angry or whatever. But anyway, about the weird like tinfoil hat kind of stuff with AstroWorld. Um, Anybody that has even just a little bit of knowledge or surface level knowledge of occult symbolism or anything like that, like there is some kind of displays there, like between the stage and some of the pyrotechnics and stuff like that, that were kind of, I guess, trippy for some people. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there from other creators that are more in depth than what I'm willing to really go into here. But um, there's also a little bit of a, like, I guess, eeriness or kind of weirdness with some of the audio that they were playing leading up to the performance with Travis and Drake. Um, I guess they had like some weird frequencies playing. It was like pretty much like rave music, but literally just the anxiety inducing type that they played for 7 hours straight while people were just like packed in like sardines waiting outside in the middle of this parking lot essentially. But I don't know, a lot of videos were out there like from people at the concert, like TikTok videos showing people just, they had captions saying like, been standing here for 7 hours listening to this super nauseating music. Like, but yeah, there's just something to maybe dive into as far as that, plus the graphene subject that was touched on earlier before I sat down in here. But I'll leave it up to your search abilities on YouTube and whatnot. There's plenty of videos out there. They're definitely not hidden.
Thank you. And then I do want to bring to the attention too. This was so Dee actually sent me this very odd. So we were talking about the whole thing with Bill Gates and the smallpox and whatnot. So I guess today, vials labeled smallpox found at a vaccine research facility in Pennsylvania, CDC says. So I don't know. We can get a little bit tinfoily. I'm not sure what to make of this after we talked about this whole thing yesterday. But frozen vials labeled smallpox were incidentally discovered at a laboratory by a laboratory worker while cleaning out a freezer in a facility that conducts vaccine research in Pennsylvania. Its administration partners and law enforcement are investigating the matter, and the vials' content appear intact. The laboratory worker who discovered the vials was wearing gloves and a face mask. We will provide further details as they are available. This kind of goes with the whole thing last year during 2020 when they kept finding like caves and things. They were like, oh, we found this new cave, and everyone's like, just leave it alone, don't touch it, we can't have any more craziness. This is kind of my whole situation here. Like, you found it, just do what you need to do, leave it alone, don't mess with it. Like, but it was just I'm at this point where it's like there's no such thing as coincidences anymore. Bill Gates has been saying, oh, there could be a smallpox outbreak here soon, blah, 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 blah. It could be a bioweapon at 10 airports, whatever the whole thing was. And then this happened today. So there's that also little small random tidbit that was given to me by, yeah.
Yeah, and even if it is just kind of coincidence that he said that, not saying that it is, and I'm also not saying that it is a conspiracy, but it is kind of concerning that a practically weaponized virus was just found laying around in a lab somewhere, like last week's yogurt leftovers in the office shared fridge. Like, that's kind of ridiculous to me. And also, you have to consider that outside of people in the military, uh, nobody's been vaccinated 50 years small. Like, it's not even really offered unless you are able to, for some reason, request it outside of, once again, being in the military. And even then, the vaccine, you're after, I believe it's 5 years or so. It could be 3. I believe it's 5 though. Your immunity to it actually begins to degrade to a point where you're no longer immune to it. So it's just ineffective at that point. But um, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. As far as, is this just kind of a fluke thing that this appeared, or that it appeared right after he had that mentioned in an interview? I don't know. Only time will tell as far as the answers to those questions. Just the figuring out of who put it there, why is it there, how long has it been there, and what was its intended, the intended purpose for it.
Alistair, Toxic, do you guys have anything to add to that at all?
No, I'm just listening. It's been a while since I've actually got to listen to people talk about things, so.
Yeah, I mean, not on that one. I mean, it sounds crazy. I mean, it seems like a lot to be a coincidence, but
I mean,
it's pretty scary.
truth is stranger than fiction sometimes. It's the way it seems to be playing out more and more, at least.
Yeah, that's very true. Good saying.
Let's see, I'm gonna get back to YouTube. Jage said the video of him harmonizing while someone is being carried away was unsettling. Yeah, 100% Jage.
Kidding, right? Just like, I don't know, and even, trying to see all sides of everything with just that specific moment that you're speaking of. Even the moments leading up to it and directly after, at least until the video cuts off, it was just kind of odd. Like, he was seemingly lucid for a moment compared to his state whenever he was doing that. The weird, like, he was just, I think that he was just saying yeah over and over into the mic, but it was auto-tuned. But he was just like perfectly fine, like, hey, there's somebody passed out over there, make sure we get him out. And then it was like totally different facial expression, and then he starts saying like weird things into an auto-tuned microphone as someone crowd surfed through a security fence.
Erox, I was recently watching a video of supposedly green energy alternatives, and basically the only solution to our energy issue would be population reduction. And that's interesting, Erox, actually. And he says, I'm not a rabbit holer either. No, it takes a certain person to be able to go really far down the rabbit hole, because getting out of the rabbit hole is even, like, it's very hard. But I mean, I've heard that saying so many times, and I mean, I think even Bill Gates has said, like, we have to reduce the population by like a certain percent. I can't remember the percentage, so I don't want to say it. But yeah, he's come out and said that before.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, look, there's nothing nefarious about it. They're just problem solvers, guys. Like, that's all it is.
Yeah, just ignore the fact that the whole Facebook metaverse thing is just a way for us to basically lose any shred of humanity in the eyes of anyone in these elite echelons of our society. You know, what what harm is it in just comparing us to video game characters that they can remove from the story every so often whenever there's too many? Did I say that?
You're not supposed to say the quiet part out loud. I'm just saying.
No, maybe that's it. Maybe that's what. Yeah, like you have to have this much money and this much power to live in the real world anymore, and everybody else can just live in the metaverse, and that's a fair compromise.
That is so screwed up, guys. That is so screwed up on so many levels. Johnny Rocket said, Was he next to a cheeseburger? I don't think so. I don't remember seeing a cheeseburger in that. He rocks. I almost forgot about food. Then the cheeseburger again. Of course, right? Like, man, I'm gonna have to go figure out a cheeseburger here soon because you're killing me. But yeah, no, I don't know. Like, I get sketched out, and then, I mean, but there's just some. We all know there's a weird vibe in the world. There's a very weird vibe going on in the world, and this goes from the stock market, it goes to real estate, it goes to the food supply, the supply chains, and just country to country, just different global tensions, with Taiwan and India and everything. Like there's a lot going on, and you can only pay attention to so much of it, right? I mean, we actually, like Hambo and I actually had to dial it back a little bit because we were freaking ourselves out, like, oh Lord, this world is going to hell in a handbasket so quick. But you do still kind of have to pay attention a little bit here and there because it all feeds into each other, right? The chip shortages, they're affecting everything around the world. Any kind of tensions that China is having with Taiwan, that affects a lot of people in the world, and trade wars with Australia, and anything that's going on in Europe right now, their whole gas thing, oil production or whatever, and that ties in with Russia, and it's all of this stuff, right? Like everything is connected, and we've known that. And then you add into that with COVID, and apparently there's some kind of super cold going on. I don't know. We've heard something about a super cold. I don't know. And then now the smallpox and all this other stuff. So there's just
it's just what happens. We're doing something that's never been done before as far as global economics go. I mean, never at any point in history has there been this much interconnectedness between countries and their economy. Basically, we've been exporting our inflation through various channels ever since the gold window closed, mainly through oil production. We went through that hostage situation essentially between us and OPEC early on, where they were gouging prices for us, and we had lines like crazy in the U.S. during the 70s. It's just kind of interesting to see how it's all playing out. We've been, like I said, exporting our inflation by exchanging our dollars throughout the world for things like refrigerators and TV sets, stuff like that. And now it's kind of starting to have a trickle effect where all these, not all these, but some of these countries are starting to send some of their dollars or our dollars back to us that we put out, over the years. What's going to happen whenever more of these countries they start to find workarounds instead of using like these OPEC nations. They're starting to work together with Russia as far as military deals, but there could obviously be more to that than just military deals in terms of oil production and maybe circumventing using the US dollar, which is a requirement to trade oil. Instead of using that, using a different currency and just bypassing the dollar, basically making the dollar return to us. And here comes all of our inflation roaring back.
Did everybody catch that? Because that was a major data dump, and this is what he does to me on a daily basis. He's like, it wasn't that bad. But no, I mean, so that's, it's something that we have to also watch for, in the terms of, our USD, what's going on with our dollar. It plays into all of our inflation that we're seeing. I don't even know what we're at I don't even want to think about what we're going to be at for November. Like, we were, 6.2% for October. So, I mean, sadly, I think it's only going to go up. Cost of living, the CPI, like, it's going up. Like, we have so many shortages that, and I appreciate everyone that's, been tweeting out pictures of what's going on in your neck of the woods, because, like, to see shelves just completely barren is crazy. Like, I know ours are bad, but that was enlightening. And then, Curtis sharing that,
It's bad over here in Ohio.
Is it? What's going on?
I went tonight, and I literally went to go get my daughter. She wanted some of the chocolate pudding, and they got a sign up. They're not getting any chocolate pudding in.
Chocolate, like, that is something so basic. Like, that is so.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And there was a sign that says, due to the inconvenience, or we apologize for the inconvenience, but they just basically said that they're not getting it in.
Urok says Walmart where I live is fully stocked. That's impressive.
See, and that's the thing. Like, it's so spotty. Like, some places, like even around here, we can go from one Walmart to another, and it's night and day difference compared to what's stocked or whatever. And even in some cases, prices. I mean, not much difference, but yeah.
I think the problem is they don't have enough employees, that they've got the stock sitting in the back, but there's not enough employees to put it up on the shelf.
I wouldn't be surprised if that were more true than we even think right now, because I mean, I did that job. That was my first job outside of after I graduated high school. Like, I worked while I was in high school, but that was the one that I took for my my gap year.
Lucky you.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I did the unloading trucks, everything. I did that for a year and a half or so, and it's miserable. I mean, at that point in time, I was making $7.65 an hour, which was like 40 cents over minimum wage or so, and it was awful. Like, these trucks, but in the summertime, they're just like hooked right up to the, just like you see them whenever you drive around the backside of a Walmart, and they're just sitting there like cooking in the sun all day. And if you're out there, like, in the middle of the day unloading one of those things, it's just like being in a convection oven trying to unload those pallets and put them on this like crazy like bakery belt looking deal where you just roll the boxes down to other people and they sort it out from there. I don't know if things have changed, but
things have changed.
It's not far.
I mean, I didn't do that right out of high school. I did the whole military situation thing.
Yeah, I waited. I waited for that one, and then I went in. I should have went in earlier, but it is what it is.
I signed in for the buddy system when they were doing the buddy system back in the day, where you and a friend can sign up, and you'd go through basic and you'd go through AIT together, and then after AIT, they would either try to put you on the same base, or then they'd end up splitting you up. But it
probably is a lot to do with labor, plus just regional supply issues. It's not like it's just one manufacturing center providing all the chocolate pudding. And I'm just using that as an example. There's probably 3 or 4 different places that I don't know who makes Jello. Probably contracts that out to, and
I don't
then
I don't know. All I know is it broke my little girl's heart. Like
well,
she's 3.
that's yeah, that's a world ender for a 3-year-old. I
And
mean,
I looked at her and I was like, "Oh man," I said, "Baby, I'm so sorry. They're completely out of pudding." She says, "Really? God, all I wanted was some chocolate pudding." I says, "Well, you can pick something else." And she said, "You know what? I'll take that." She pointed at another type of pudding that was unicorn.
oh, that'll work. That might be better in good old unicorn.
And then she turned around and got unicorn Pop Tarts. But there's an actual shortage out here on blueberry Pop Tarts.
That's crazy. See, I've got like a rotating stock of Pop Tarts that I pick up at Sam's Club. I haven't noticed any, but that's kind of part of it. Is just you have to, in this time when things are like this, where you have even just regional supply chain issues, you do have to kind of stay ahead of the curve a little bit by listening to the news and not just mainstream places like here or there's other channels out there like trying to think of that would be relative to this. Ice Age Farmer, I think he's a good one for supply chain related content and whatnot. But kind of keeping a good bead on things and keeping track of how things are moving, between labor strikes, labor shortages, supply chain disruptions in the form of weather events or cyber attacks. Like I don't know what else to say other than I feel like we're living in simulation. I talk about stuff, but it's stuff you just kind of have to keep on track, prepare for a little bit by keeping a little rotating stock.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Well, and they're also in chat talking about gas prices. So gas prices out in California, $4.75 to $5. Guys, that's ridiculous. Like what did we just say it for? 339.
It's 346 here.
Yeah, So when my sister and brother-in-law were here, it had just hit $3 in our part of Florida. And that's astronomical for us. Like Curtis can attest to this. Like we're happy when it's like $2.25. Like that's pretty high. So to see it over $3 right now, I'm going, what the actual hell? So the fact that you guys are paying like $4.50, almost $5, oh, I would be so mad. And Moon, we actually already covered the smallpox article that the vials were found. I did get your DM. Thank you for that. Yeah, we covered that actually like 20-30 minutes ago, about that. Like it was very odd. I've had, I think it was Dee that sent it to me. It could have been Retha. Let me look before I totally misspeak here. Let me see. Yeah, it was Dee. Okay. But yeah, she had sent me that earlier on in the day. She's like, "Did you see this? Holy crap!" So yeah, I don't like it some days. I really don't. That I talk about these things and then things like that come out, and I'm like, "Oh, it's so eerie." It's whatever. Yeah, gas is very expensive. So we actually, okay, tonight's just like a tinfoil. I hope someone bought stock in like aluminum or something because we're gonna use a whole shit ton of it tonight. But we wonder if, they're trying to, price out gas, like make people convert over to electric vehicle type things. Like, oh, well, if we make it so expensive, people will be like, oh, well, screw this, I'm going to go to electric. Well, there was actually a funny thing, and we've been watching Silicon Valley whenever we go to sleep, which is probably not the best idea, but, we're watching a bunch of like techie nerdy things before we fall asleep, so that's probably not the best idea. But one of the recent episodes is when Dinesh just got his Tesla or something, and Guilfoyle's like, Dinesh is like, oh, I'm going green, I'm eco-friendly, blah 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 blah, and Guilfoyle's like, oh yeah, well, how do you think they get your electric? he's talking about like the coal plants and like how they actually, create electricity at that point when the show was created. And I'm not saying right now, but it was just kind of a ironic thing. I'm like, well, yeah, like it's kind of defeating the purpose in one sense. But yeah, it was just kind of a theory we thought about. Houston's at $2.65 a gallon. That's awesome. I'm excited for you. No worries, Moon. No worries. I appreciate you sending that to me. It's just more people. The more people that send it to me, I'm just like, oh Lord. 420 here in Washington State. That's so funny always. That's so funny. I like boat life there, jet skiing. Oh, okay. Remember 2012, I went back to SoCal. Gas was $5 a gallon. It was staggering. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, it's to a point, like, I mean, thankfully, we have a Renegade. And so, we have like, what, a 13-gallon tank. So it doesn't hurt as bad. Like, whenever, 2012 and all that, we had a Trailblazer. Which was terrible filling up. It was like $60, $70 to fill that stupid thing up. So it doesn't hurt as bad now, but
In comparison to like a year and a half. 2
yeah,
years ago.
yeah, it used to only cost us like, I'd say like what, $22 to fill up, and now it's costing like 40 something to fill up. That's stupid. Just in a year's time, that is so stupid.
And not to derail the subject, but
Sorry guys, give me 1 sec.
shipping port in Vancouver, BC.
Oh, you might want to. Okay, Hambone will tell you guys here.
Flooding closed it down from rainfall.
Oh, well, you can tell them. Sorry, guys. Oh, it's gonna take them a second, but yeah, there's I don't know, the gas is getting kind of ridiculous, and then we have a pipeline. They shut down another pipeline.
I think it was a refinery.
Oh, a refinery. They shut down another refinery, so there's that as well. So that's always fun.
This isn't necessarily gas related, but just read a little while ago today that a major shipping port in Vancouver, British Columbia, was shut down because of flooding after heavy rainfall, whatnot. So more shipping woes.
More shipping woes. That's oh Lord, because that's another major port, isn't it? The one in Vancouver. Yeah, that's a major port.
Large port.
He's like, yeah, it's a pretty large port. Sorry, guys, I'm not 100% up to which ports are major. Johnny Rocket says, hi, Hambone.
Howdy.
Oh, Lord. My husband, guys. My husband. Yeah, it's a Chevy Trailblazer. It was a terrible, terrible vehicle. It really was. But our massive Shepherd Husky no longer fit in a Mustang. And we've actually been very fortunate, Hambo and I. We've had one vehicle. Like, we've never had the need to have two vehicles. So that was always a way we cut down costs, being through college and things. And then we just kind of kept it that way after, because with military moves, they only transport one vehicle. So we've just always had one vehicle. But yeah, the Trailblazer was the worst thing ever. The thing broke on like a monthly basis.
What a money pit. But, that was what was available at the time that fit all of our needs. It worked out. We made it. We made it until it was paid off, and then sayonara.
Well, yeah, and it actually worked out really well, because it was at a point in the economy when they were actually offering quite a bit for used vehicles. So they gave us like $5,000 for the damn thing. We were like, oh, okay, like half of what we paid for it. Cool. It was pretty nice. Let's see. I have a Lexus SUV and always filling up. Oh man, I'm sorry, Pam. She's in SoCal.
There's gonna be a glut of vehicle inventory before too long, I feel like, because eventually, like, some of this stuff is going to break loose as far as what's holding up like chip shortages and stuff like that. And then you're going to have an entire fleet of vehicles hitting the market that have been sitting in open air parking lots basically for, I would say, 6 months to be generous, I suppose, without being maintained or touched or moved or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen as far as that goes, but I imagine that there's going to be a pretty large inventory, and then you'll see a big deflation in the prices that have inflated with vehicles altogether, not just new, but secondary vehicles as well.
Well, I'm waiting for the cash for clunkers thing to come back. That's when we know we're in some deep shit. Alistair, you're being very quiet tonight. It's very weird.
Oh, I know. I don't know. I'm reading up on other things at the same time. I just saw a tweet that kind of interesting.
Out with it.
Apparently,
What is it?
the Mark Cahodes or whatever, like he went off apparently on one of Terrible Spaces about an hour ago. He said if people don't stop questioning his project, then they're gonna, then he's gonna be gone. And then they're talking about a share offering for AMC as well. Terrible apparently earlier was trying to say, hey, well, if we can get the stock on the blockchain, will you guys approve a 25 million share offering? Interesting stuff.
I'm sorry. What?
I know. I'm switching up the topic. Hardcore, I know, but
No, I'm sorry. What? Like that? No. No.
yeah.
I'm actually kind of speechless right now. Oh Lord.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't see it. I don't see it because I don't follow it. And so like it just I'm late to the party on some of that stuff because I just don't want it all over my feed all the time, you know. But man, when I do see it, boy.
That's wow. Okay. Toxic, do you have anything else to add for the while we get ready to wrap this up?
No, man, I'm actually pretty. Oh, did I end up bringing up the a whole bunch of the Republicans and the Democrats end up they broke the Stocks Act law.
Yeah, but what can you? Hambone said, "What's new?" But can you elaborate a little bit more? I'm sorry.
Okay, so there was a law that was put into place in 2013, I believe. It's for transparency, and what happened is a whole bunch of Democrats and Republicans have they broke there was the law that they put into place, and they actually broke the law. So
And
it's
will anything be done about it? That is the
that's the
$1,000,000
question.
question. Gosh. I mean, no, they probably won't. There probably will not be anything done about it. Let's see. Always says we have billboards and local ads for basically the same as cash for clunkers, but it's for pick and pull. Oh man, that's interesting.
Oh, that might be the junk. I'm just hypothesizing here. That might be the junkyards trying to round out inventory, because that's another thing holding up some of the supply chain as well. Is there's an issue with getting parts to all these repair facilities for these big rigs, and even consumer, not consumer, but your regular vehicles. But I don't know. That could be something to that, but it could very well just be something else as well.
Pam, I will say, I saw you said I always wanted to live in Hawaii. Almost did 2000, but couldn't find a job, so I stayed here. If you can, 1 to 2 years, do an island life. It is something completely just different. Like, it's so just relaxed and low key, and especially out in Hawaii, like, definitely like learning the culture. Like, that was one of the biggest things that we did when we lived out there. You know, Hambone being stationed out there, like, we instantly like picked up on the culture, just you know kind of knowing your place, and just kind of different things, but and just respecting the land out there, because that is a big thing. Like, listen, with any island community that I'm actually learning, people dead crazy being down in Cuba, and a few of somebody in one of the Bahamas, I can't remember now. But yeah, it's actually very interesting to live out there. It's a whole different world, it seems like. And just there are days we've been looking through a lot of the old pictures lately, and it's just like, man, it was so much fun. Like, you actually, you really do get like a blue day, like the blues, because it's like it's such a beautiful day out. The sun's shining, the temperature is great. It's like you feel like you should be outside enjoying the day, but you're like, man, we just went hiking for like 4 days straight, or whatever. But it's an experience. I love it out there. And we are very fortunate where we live in Florida. It's very similar. We can go down to different parts, and there's different Hawaiian cultures, which I'm actually very excited. We found a shaved ice place, not snow cones, nothing like that, like legit Hawaiian shaved ice that has the ice cream and the condensed milk, the snow cap, and everything. Like, it's the closest thing we've had since we've been back on the mainland. But it was just, oh, yeah, it was amazing. So yeah, if you do get a chance, I'm sorry to any of my Hawaiian listeners. I know the islands are very full right now, but if you do get a chance, it's an experience. 1 to 2 years. Yeah, that's about when island fever starts hitting, and you kind of want to get off the rock. If you're used to being on the mainland, it is probably, I think a lot of people have heard this story, but being on an island with hurricanes is an interesting situation after living in Florida with hurricanes, because with Florida you can evacuate, and if you're on the mainland, you can evacuate to another state, another area of the country, and be safe. You just kind of drive around in circles if there's a hurricane coming to you and you're on an island. So that was interesting, but definitely, and they do shut the ports down, so like that's something else to consider. They shut the ports down. You can't get any of your supplies, and like there's only like enough supplies for the whole island on Oahu for like 2 weeks for the whole island. So that's something else to consider.
If I can find that link, it was sent to me. I'll send it over to you, Kenna. It was basically, it shows on every one of those, it shows every Republican, every Democrat that failed to be transparent, and they said that the minimum fine is like $200.
That's it.
So that's it.
Good Lord, whatever.
It's like, it's a $200 fine, and honestly, on the way that some of these are, because it's insider trading, it's just ridiculous, because one of the Democrats actually made $13.7 million off a trade, and took 9 months to let people know, oh yeah, by the way, I sold this stock. They're supposed to, within 4 days of selling the stock, come out and let people know, hey, I sold the stock.
Yeah, but we all know that they don't play by the rules. We all know that. I mean, if they did, would they be in the same situations they're in right now? I mean, would we be in the same situation we're in with the stock market as it sits right now if everyone played by the rules? No. Truck nerd, yes, you do hear a hookah in the background. I am so sorry.
Mary, hold on. Sorry, I'm in another voice chat with a friend of mine on the game, and I'm gonna try to see if I can get him invited over here to this Discord so he can hear it.
Oh, actually, I was gonna say Toxic. You could always invite him tomorrow night. We're gonna be back in Discord tomorrow night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be Discord tomorrow night then.
Tomorrow night's we're gonna be. Oh wait, hold on. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. Never mind. I lied. I'm such a liar. Tomorrow's Nifty. Tomorrow's Space Calls. Tomorrow's Nifty's night. Doing NFT stuff.
You hurt my feelings for lying to me.
I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. But so Friday night is game night. We're actually gonna be gaming, doing some fun stuff with the community. So we're gonna do game night on Friday. So we will be in Discord, 100%.
Have you checked out the new game, New World?
I have not. What is that?
It's pretty good. It's literally called New World, and it's actually pretty good.
I will definitely check that out. Thank you.
It's an Amazon game.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's take World of Warcraft, take Minecraft, take RuneScape, and one more. I can't remember what the other one was. Put them all together, let them have an orgy, and let them have a baby. That's New World.
That doesn't quite sound like something I would play, but I will definitely still check it out.
You've played World of Warcraft before, correct?
I played like level 2 and said I could do no.
Okay. Do you like Skyrim?
I don't think I've ever played that either.
I don't know what kind of games you play, so.
Oh, Hallister's gonna call me out now. Whatever. I mean a few different ones, just not Dota because Dota sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no. I was gonna go on the Dota. I mean, I was into WoW like that was like how many years ago now? Like, what 13, something like that.
I played WoW for the longest time. I've been playing WoW since it first came out, and since I started playing New World, I'll never go back to WoW.
Yeah, I wish I had time for like I don't know to play games like that. I don't know when I start playing games like that, I just get way too into them and like it just takes over everything. So
You are just like
My brother. I call him my brother, but I'll call him point here. My brother, and this is back whenever WoW was like really crazy with, popularity. That's like 08, 09 time frame. And he played so much on a laptop that he actually like left an imprint of the side of his palm on the trackpad, like right next to the trackpad.
I've done that before. I have done it before. I had my old Alienware laptop. I went through a very, very bad depression stage after my oldest daughter was born, and I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to escape reality. I sat on a computer from 4 o'clock in the morning until like 11, 12 o'clock at night. Go to bed, get back up around 4 or 5, and do the same thing for 3 months straight.
Sometimes you just have to cope. That's all you can do. That's
And
all there is
well,
to it.
yeah, I mean, and my wife actually did not leave me. She actually stuck it through thick and thin on that. So,
believe
I
it
mean,
or
that was it. Go ahead.
speaking as a wife and mother, I think Hambone kind of went through something similar when our daughter was born. It's an adjustment, but you figure us girls, we're carrying that child for 9 months, so we're already kind of used to it. And so it's an adjustment. It really is. So I mean, it's understandable. And no, I mean, obviously, nothing happened between us. So I mean, I'm sure your wife kind of was like me too. Like, you'll come around. You just got to get used to this new little human being in the house. Because they do just want to cry and eat and thankfully ours slept a lot, so now she doesn't sleep. I don't know what that's about. It's terrible. But no, anyway, that's for another day. So yeah, Tuesday, man, guys, Thursday tomorrow. We will be on Twitter Space tomorrow with Nifty, and it's not just talking about their project, but we're inviting all NFT creators to come in, kind of show your work and get your information out there. We're gonna be talking about cryptos. We're gonna be doing all kinds of stuff, really cool information that's coming out, and then being educational tomorrow with them. So that will be at 10, and then Friday, as I think I announced it. I don't know if I put it on Twitter yet, but we are having game night on Friday. So yeah, if you like to play games, we're gonna try to do some fun things. Maybe like get like a Jackbox type thing going, or apparently I'm being 1v1'd in League at mid. I don't know. Hallister's challenged me, which sucks too.
That sounds
Yeah,
fun.
I'll have to download League. I don't know.
I am a support, but I supports can kick ass. But I'm also challenging him to download Fortnite because it is free.
Ooh, now hey, I will play Fortnite with you.
Yeah, see, the thing is, we were talking about this. It would just be so funny because I don't think either one of us have ever played. Like, I mean, I've seen it played a little bit, but
I've played it. We've played it, but it was like 4 years ago. But then we also have Counter-Strike.
I can do Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I know you can. We've talked about this. So, I look forward to watching Alistair and Hambone play Counter-Strike and me walk around like a chicken with his head cut off because, I can play Halo all day long, but, this whole, like,
I'll join you. I'll
spray
join you
pattern,
guys Friday.
spray pattern or whatever that's in Counter-Strike. Yeah, I don't even know.
I'll join you guys Friday for the Fortnite. I play with my boys. I actually might be able to. I'd like to see you guys go against my 9-year-old.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure
that's just yeah, it's just cruel and unusual punishment at that point. Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, maybe we try to do the Jackbox stuff on Friday. See, I guess if I'm gonna be playing shooters again, I gotta order a new mouse from GameStop.
I mean, it's 2 days shipping, so if you order it now, you might have it in time.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Yeah.
All right,
as good as they are, the shipping's rough these days, but
it is. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But yeah, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
All right.